Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man living in the flooded plains himself. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
I've built an ark and none of you are invited.
Oh, wow. Have you invited two of every animal?
No.
Oh, wow. That's
my ark.
It's just for you.
You can all sink!
Oh, damn. Wow, okay. Sink beneath the waves.
Like, we can swim fine. Why are you throwing rocks at us? Think, you fuckers.
Oh God, you see this as a joke, but I could see it easily happening. It's not out of the stretch of reality.
I would be, you know what? I would be Rose at the door. No, Jack, there's no room. Jack, there's no room here. Rose, there's so much room on that door. No, Jack, no, there's no room on the door. It's just spreading my arms wider.
I guess he froze to death. Still alive? No, you're not. Yes,
still alive.
I
Just
am.
you're pushing his head.
She really didn't seem to care that much when he froze and she pushed him off that door. She's just like, oh no, there's a boy I barely know and had sex with once. Okay.
Yeah, Tommy naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved him. Did you
Yeah.
let him on the door? There wasn't room on the door.
It still annoys me that there was a choice where me and my mum went to see that, and it was a choice between that or First Contact, and I was too indecisive because I was freaked out by the trailer because it looked scary to me. So I was like, oh, I don't know, and she's like, okay, we're just gonna see Titanic. And I was like, oh, okay.
Andy, you did not have enough grandma.
I didn't, and then I remember being very bored until the ship started sinking, and then I was like, oh, it's finally interesting.
And did you also go, but there's so much room on that door?
I remember just being like, I bet it's cold. He looks cold.
He looks cold.
He looks cold. And he was, to be fair. They did hit an iceberg, but for some reason in my brain, I never really connected that the water there was probably quite cold.
You thought, the ice has held all the coldness. It's probably quite mild in there right now.
I think because I was just a kid and I really didn't care, I just considered like, oh, well, they're in a pool, so it wouldn't be that cold, really, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, the ocean's not that cold. Completely forgetting the last time I went to the ocean.
The ocean's not that cold.
It's not that cold. Man up.
And he's
Come on
bleeding.
now.
I'm sure there's no problem with that. Nothing's
It's
coming for him.
fine.
That guy got pulled underwater. Oh,
It's
he's swimming.
It's no Deep Rising. That's a fun horror film.
Deep Blue Sea.
That's also a fun horror film. They're both quite good.
That was my first movie where I was surprised where...
Oh, Sammy Jackson. Yeah.
when Samuel L. Jackson died.
Yeah, I never saw
reason,
that coming.
I was convinced he didn't die in movies until I looked back on his repertoire of films beforehand. Like the first movie I ever saw him in, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that it was the same person. No idea. But then again, because this show, I think it was probably a good example of me not really caring about celebrities because I just didn't recognize people. I was like, oh, it's that, whatever. I'll enjoy the movie for what it is, and then I started recognizing. It's a fish. Mikey, we're here to talk about Transformers this week. Granted, there's not nearly as much as previous weeks because we've got past the desert, then we hit a massive oasis of news being Toyfair, and now we're kind of
searching for cactus juice.
Yeah, don't drink the cactus juice, Mikey.
It's the quenchiest.
It is the quenchiest. We do have bits though. We're going to start off with the Devil Survivor Troublemaker, that being Revenge of the Fallen Devestator. We've got the prototype images of it all combined together. Some of the parts clearly are out, and we have talked about some of the other ones as well, but this is the first time I think we've seen it all smushed together in his big form, with all 8 Constructicons, from the movie, of course. It doesn't say how big the boy be, but he looks pretty chunky.
I think that the individuals are about Voyager size.
Yeah, so this is going to be hefty, definitely. I mean, I think it's unfair to say that it does look better than the Hasbro version because,
yes.
Of course, yeah.
It pulls off the quadruped look better than the Hasbro one does.
Yeah, and when I say it's not fair, I say that because obviously this is far more expensive and doesn't have toy restrictions to kind of hold it back. So that's really why. It also does have its testicles. For
I love
those,
how there's a shot, a really close-up shot from the back, just highlighting that.
yeah. For those of you who are needing that, who need that. Okay, it was a joke. I never really liked. But Mikey, what do you think of this troublemaker, as it were?
As a design, I mean, as a toy, rather, it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks very articulated. Now, obviously, how much of that articulation is usable, given the design, is another question entirely.
Well, he can actually stand on his back legs up straight enough. So that's impressive in itself, I'd say.
Yeah. And I like the accessories in terms of like the grappling hooks.
Yes, from whatever that one is.
That was the bit where he was tearing down the pyramid.
I just meant from whatever one that Constricticon is. I don't know its name.
It's yellow, I think. I know.
Yes, because we have talked about that one before.
Scrapper.
I know that.
It'd be Scrapper.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to fight you on this.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I never realized how red he was in the center.
Yeah. Well, he said the big wheel formed in his center, didn't he?
A large part of it.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't look like a Transformer on any level.
Yeah, it looks like a movie. I'd argue it looks like a movie Transformer.
We can argue about what they look like. But it's one of those things, like, I still know people, even who hate Revenge of the Fallen, who love Devastator, who love that scene, who think it's amazing.
In what term do you mean that they love it? Do they love the ingenuity of like having the robots combined together? Is it just the sequence that they like? Or
I think so, but I think that I feel it's people who haven't seen the movie in a long time.
Okay.
Just because I don't rewatching the movies, especially Revenge of the Fallen, a lot of those scenes everyone freaked out about have aged really poorly.
Well, I mean, it's CGI in a live action.
I'm talking about
place.
Framing, camera work, angles, choices made during the changes. Even like the CG for the time, like Revenge of the Fallen as well. You can really see where some of the CG was rushed and finished like after everything else. Especially a lot of stuff with the twins, which makes me think they were added relatively late. But like Devastator's combination scene, it's visceral. But the angles and the shots themselves are pretty bad.
Okay.
I would have to say. But like the forest fight scene, if I go back, I think that's terribly filmed. Like everyone loves that scene. Like, oh my god, I'm filming it between the trees and I'm cutting every 10 seconds to Sam hiding in a branch. Like,
he's the main character.
Maybe, but people complain about Godzilla in King of the Monsters. I'm just like, those were much better filmed. Just like, yes, they cut away, but at least they were trying to highlight the fact that these things are very big.
Yeah.
Like, in Revenge of the Fallen, it's just kind of highlighting the fact Michael Bay can't film action actually that well. He just blows shit up.
He used to blow it up well, though.
Yeah, but then he just... Like, the explosion...
stopped.
Like, this is the rant, but the explosions in Revenge of the Fallen... Particularly from Revenge of the Fallen on, where it's just dirt. Like, and it's usually like explosions that have nothing to do with anything that's going on. It's just dirt.
Oh, you mean when like they're just running and the Transformers are shooting, and it's meant to be like the impact of shrapnel.
Yeah, but like
it's not visually interesting.
Or like there's a scene in Age of Extinction in Last Night where Megatron shoots Hound, and for some reason Hound falls over, but then like 50 feet away from him on each side there's a big dirt explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Before he hits the ground.
Someone else was shooting him.
Or that bit where Grimlock jumps in and everything just explodes.
But they're proper anything. Fire explosions as well, aren't they?
Yeah, he just jumps over. He's jumping over something and it's just exploding on the side as he passes. Like,
Mikey, you've seen Power Rangers.
Didn't someone come up with an explanation for that?
Oh no, there is no explanation unless you go by like Power Rangers Sentai logic of the things just they combine and then a big explosion happens and you go If that's the logic the movie gave, I'd be like okay, but it's not. They do, like you say, they do kind of make it look like he's done something or someone shot him.
Basically, Devil Saviour. Devil Saviour looks like a very competently made toy of a character I have no interest in.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't fight. Like I say, I wouldn't fight you on it. I do think it looks pretty for what it is. Though I think I prefer these Constructicons not to be Devastator from how we've talked about the previous combined modes. I think they're much more interesting as a troop than as a Gesalt. But then again, I've never been a massive fan of just the overall design of Devastator. I'd be interested, I should say, to see a picture of just them all together in the robot mode. I think that would be quite nice to see potentially, more so than this combined form, which, like I say, I'm just kind of on. Anything else, Mikey, or do you want to take us on to the next bit of news?
Yeah, I'll take us on. Takara Tomy Mall exclusives have been revealed, and it's they're ones for the Earthrise over in Japan, and they are getting exclusive versions of Micromaster Slitherfang, the Cobra, Deluxe Allicon, the bad toy, and Voyager Quintesson. Now, an interesting thing seems to be, and a lot of people are now debating this because there isn't, as far as we know, a difference between the American toys and the Japanese toys at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these Allicons do not look like the ones we saw at Toyfair.
No.
They are monumentally lavender, would be a way to put it.
Yeah, I said PANK to you. I specifically said PANK.
These
but
boys
yeah,
are
lavender.
PANK.
Yeah, not pink, but PANK. Because that my PANK word is to encapsulate lavender as well, is my excuse. Now, my question for you, Mikey, because I didn't know, and I thought you might, is this based on an animation error from Japan, from either their dubbed version of our show, or from Headmasters? Because I couldn't remember if it was, or if it's just something that they went, eh?
I have no idea.
Because all the grey is just, like you say, has been turned lavender, and then bits of have also been turned hot pink. It's an odd choice. It doesn't look terrible though. I don't think.
No, I mean it doesn't look bad. It just makes him look kind of like Galvatron was walking by, and he just sort of absorbed his colors.
Oh, I was thinking more like you remember the Japanese Cyclonus, who was always PANK himself, came by and spray painted them and went, "You're mine." You're my friend. You're my crocodile boy.
We've got clearer pictures of the Quintesson faces as well.
Are the Quintessons slightly different tone? Because I don't know what. Again, I don't know whether it's these images, but they look like the grey might be darker. But again, who knows?
Yeah, Slitherfang's robot mode I do like. It's just that ridiculous alt mode.
Slitherfang, the snake thing.
Snake.
What do you mean robot mode? I only see him in snack mode.
That's his robot mode.
It's snack mode. It's not robot. Come on.
It's
Get out of here.
Non-humanoid robot mode.
Get the fuck out of here. It's a snack.
So what's the other mode?
Road.
The Schneck Road.
Yep. I mean, that's literally what it turns into. Snack Road Shield.
This is Snake, and this is Snack after car passes by.
Oh no, that's really sad but true. Oh,
I think I made that whole subline better. It's all just a series of horrible accidents.
I don't think I mentioned this when we talked about Slitherfang before, but I think it's probably the best that pulls off the road thing, because I don't know I don't know if you did see it, because I sent it to you. Brickinator on Twitter put an image of what I assumed is the fully transformed road piece, whatever that first one is, and it's just a robot lying down with a road on top of it. At least with Slitherfang, he seems to fold up better into a road piece. There's not just a robot hanging off the bottom of it. If you see what I'm saying, it seems to incorporate the idea of it being somewhat flat better. Would you agree with that, or is that just...
Yeah, I think it's just the nature of there's no robot under it.
Yeah.
But, it's there's a big difference between basically a flat piece of plastic with a snake head at the front, and a robot that looks like a human that you have a panel down that you flip over and ignore the robot beneath.
I'm going to throw this out. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I think this whole road gimmick thing should have probably not been a thing, and what you should have had instead, in my opinion, is a Micromaster that just transforms normally, and then just a bit of road that could be held as a shield.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
It does make the Autobots and Decepticons real dicks.
It does. I was talking to Jai last night, and he suggested maybe this is what they do to prisoners. And I said the concept of potholes becomes even more harrowing then, doesn't it?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because it's like they're
Oh.
driving over like open skin and driving onto the like spinal cord or something.
Oh, God. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's actually quite... Oh, I'm feeling a bit queasy now.
Because how else do you make this work? Because like, what's your job, Mikey? Oh, I've got to be a bit of road for 5 hours.
Mm.
Then I'm off shift for a day, and then I'm back on for a 24-hour shift of being a road. Jesus.
Mm.
I'm not a big fan of this road thing. Like I say, though, I think the SNEC works best, but I don't incredibly approve of it.
Mm.
Quintesson looks neat, though, for the most
Yeah.
part.
I'll take the next bit of news as well, just because it's really super quick.
Sure.
Siege Wave 5 is out in the UK. It's been found in Newry in Northern Ireland, which is Crosshairs and Spinster with Sideswipe and Cog in the same wave.
And how much are they? Because it says here is $16.99, but I don't believe that.
I believe that there is a deluxe toy on the shelf for $16.99. I believe it might not be those ones.
No.
But no, I mean it does look like £69.
It does. But it's hard to believe because they haven't been that price in about 10 years. I don't think.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Like, again, hang on. What are they in dollars? Because remember, all they ever do is take the dollar price and switch the symbol in front of it.
Well, aren't they 20-something-ish dollars? Because I remember, I'm sure I saw the last time I went into Smith's, I know it's not the same line, but I'm pretty sure the Cyberverse Deluxes were like £22 or something like that.
Like I saw the Warriors for €18.
Woof.
And but that's okay. So they're $21.71 if you use that price. Now, if you just do a straight conversion, so Siege Deluxe Walmart. Let's see what's Walmart doing. Walmart is doing them for $19.99. So they are slightly more expensive, but not crazy. Not like the usual ridiculous levels.
Okay. Is that all then, or was there anything else you wanted to add to that bit of story?
Takes on, Andy.
All right, fair enough. The next thing is a reveal of 2 new figures, which I suppose is kind of disappointing they weren't shown alongside or announced, as far as I'm aware, at Toyfair, were they?
No.
They popped up after Toyfair,
These
which
are new.
is
These
weird.
are new.
Yeah, so they showed us Transformers, War for Cybertron, Earthrise, Sunstreaker, and Trailbreaker. So it's the first time we've had these figures done who aren't repaints in a while, as far as I can remember. Because the last time we got these, they were the Combiner Wars repaints and stuff, so they're kind of iffy. And then I think before that we got a Trailbreaker for the Generations line, but that was more IDW style. This is obviously G1 style. So Mikey, how do you feel that Sunstreaker and Trailbreaker, or Trail Cutter? Is it Trail Cutter? No, it looks like they've actually got his name right.
Trailbreaker there.
Yeah, maybe they got his name back. What do you think of these two, though? Do you like them?
Look decent for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sunstreaker is a new mold, is he?
I don't know. Maybe, or is he a reshell or retool of oh god, what's his name? Runamok? Because he looks similar-ish, but he.
Well, no, he's not Runamok at all. Like he.
No, that's why I say a reshell. Like
no, because Runamok is Wheeljack.
Okay.
So I was thinking more like, is he just a redo of Sideswipe from the last line?
I don't think so.
Which would make sense. I mean, if you reshell, it wouldn't really be hard to reshell him. But I'd be very surprised if he'd any connection to Runamok, just by looking at how the alt modes come together in a few other pictures.
Okay.
But like, it also like, if we've got Sunstreaker, then we're probably going, because now you could say, oh, we'll have him, and we got Sideswipe from the other line, except now they completely clash in some ways.
Yeah.
Minor ways. So hey, I don't like the face sculpt.
Wow,
On Sunstreaker.
That's harsh, man.
I don't like. It doesn't. I don't know what they were going for, but I'm not crazy about it. Trailbreaker. Okay, I have to admit something.
Okay.
I've always kind of hated Trailbreaker's classic design.
Ooh.
Like properly kind of hated it.
Ooh, why? What's with the hate? You hater, Mr. Hatey
It looks a bit
Hatyton.
like a slightly better GoBot.
Oh, okay, that's mean.
Like, I really liked his Mord Meets the Eye design, but, like, it's just, I've never liked the color spread, I've never liked the face design, I've never liked the gimmick, and I really never liked the chest in any version, so this being, like, a slightly more posable one than the last Trailbreaker toy makes me just sort of go, like, yay.
Damn, son.
Someone else will be happy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also, they need to stop trying to turn Sunstreakers back into a gun.
Oh, his engine block thing. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a hand dryer.
To be
If
fair,
you ask me.
it is Sunstreaker.
Yeah,
It
keeps
could
your hands
work.
clean. Yeah.
Oh, I shook hands with something.
Must be clean. I've just checked on Smith's website as well, and it seems like the Wolf Cybertron Spinister is $16.99.
That's not bad, in all honesty.
No, that's really good. That's the price they should have been for years, if you ask me. So if I mean, people probably knew this already, but if you're in the market for some deluxes, it's probably best to get them now. Granted, the Smith's website doesn't actually have the Cyberverse stuff on, at least the deluxes, as far as I can tell. So that's not helpful. Because if they were $16.99, I'd maybe go out tomorrow and buy one. But I can't see them, so yeah, oh well. Yeah, I think they look okay. I think the problem is, as usual, I'm not desperately thrilled by either of these two. They're just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's them. But in a sense, it's good that these guys have been picked. Yeah. As like I say, they have just had retools of them for a while now, rather than their own unique mold. So, for those who like the characters, it's a good crack. But it's
wait, hang on. Trailbreaker is a redo of. Isn't Grapple a redo of not Grapple?
Hoist.
Hoist. So
actually, he's Hoist.
He's just a retool.
Yeah, he'll probably be slightly different because he'll have the different back to make it more of a canopy rather than a hoist. I hated myself for that, but there you go. I had to. Yeah. But yeah, no, you're quite right. Yeah, good call. I didn't even consider Hoist because he leaves no impression on me. I think the Hoist toy is meant to be as tall as the Grapple as well. Oddly enough, I've seen images of the Grapple and Hoist next to each other, and one's obviously a Voyager, right?
Is that commenting on the Grapple or the Hoist?
Yes. Yes, take your pick, I suppose. So I suppose you can infer from that Trailbreaker is going to be the scale of a Voyager, technically, by the way he transforms and beefs out, I suppose. So that's interesting.
Literally a Voyager. God only knows what that means.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've made our opinion on them known.
Yes, we have.
I will say as well that it looks like the inner thighs. And in general, Sunstreaker looks quite hollow. Like his upper thigh has a big old gap in it. Slightly concerning that you can see the mushroom peg in there for the hip joint is completely exposed. There have been, like, not all, but there have been some cases where as he twists that kind of mushroom peg joint, the leg kind of just shifts itself out. Especially with no cover over the top of it. So that's mildly concerning. And then for the transformation, I assume that's why his shin has a big old gap in it as well. His hand obviously goes into his forearm, so there's a big old gap there as well. So he's quite gappy, I suppose. So be prepared for us in 2 to 3 months' time, or maybe more, depending on how long it takes for these to come out and upgrade kits for them to come out, for us to be talking about thigh fillers for these two, at the very least. So be prepared, Mikey. Get your excitement in check, boy. Yeah, calm down. Don't get too excited. Don't pee your pants. And the last bit of news for this week, because I don't think there's anything else, is there, Mikey?
There's the Cyberverse.
There's the Cyberverse. Okay, yeah. I'll let you cover that then.
So,
go for it.
2 pieces of news in this. Cyberverse will start in the US on March 15th. Cartoon Network at 7 a.m. will be airing the first 4 episodes, which is the basically end of season 2.
Oh, have they not finished season 2? Or is this just like a retread?
It's basically it's so different from the rest of the show. It really feels like these are 4 episodes that were originally intended to be on season 2. and they were just moved. Who knows? Can talk. But May Cat, who's one of the writers on the show, wanted people who in the US to sort of go like, yeah, I know you can watch them online, but guys, please make sure you're watching it in the US because we don't get ratings over there. So watch it on the Cartoon Network app or on YouTube. And please be aware, it has been confirmed via LinkedIn of all places.
Yeah, that's
that this is the final season of Cyberverse.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and not being surprised at all. And I messaged you and said, "Well, this is." It seems to always be the fact that they always go balls to the wall, crazy for the last season, and I guess they don't have any reins held to them or held around them, and they can just do for the more of the things that they wanted to do potentially.
I could say that, but having seen it, it doesn't feel like they knew. This isn't like animated. They knew it was ending earlier than they planned.
Okay.
This doesn't feel like that. This feels like they were expecting at least another season.
You think so?
So, there's a lot of unresolved plot points.
Oh, no. Oh.
And one in particular that comes up in the last episode that, I definitely wanted to see how that went.
I guess we shouldn't be that surprised either, just on the basis that, there aren't many Transformer series, apart from, oddly enough, Rescue Bots that survive more than 3 seasons before Hasbro just puts a gun to old Yellow's head and pulls that trigger. I suppose the last continuity that's survived longer than arguably 3 seasons is the movies, if you consider each movie a season, in a sense.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
And that's sad, because from what you've been telling me, this new season's been really good. It's been really engaging and all that kind of jazz, and I have no reason to doubt you on this. And then I see the news that it's done. I'm like, oh, what a surprise! Cool. So that's a shame. It makes me slightly concerned as well, because we haven't heard of any kind of replacement show. So are they going to use the Netflix series as a placeholder for however long that's going to last for until a new series comes out?
Yeah, they've confirmed the first run of Netflix will be 6 episodes. So.
Right. Do we know? Can you remember when that's
20 minute, June, and they're 20-minute episodes.
June. Okay, so yeah, I think that might actually be a placeholder until if they've had something in the works for a while and they actually have something to replace it. Maybe something in September fills out the new line, and we get a new cartoon starting in September.
Maybe. I thinking of it, it's like Siege is going to be one of those cartoons that was so meant to come out sooner.
Oh yeah.
And I will put feckin' money down. It was supposed to come out under Machinima a lot sooner than it did to tie in with the toy line. And then Machinima collapsed, and Hasbro had to go through a lot of other loops and jumps and everything else to get it out there, and then it came out a year and a half late.
I mean, that would make sense, especially since I assume this line of War for Cybertron, because it's meant to be a trilogy, right?
Yeah, there's this.
So we've had Siege, there's Earthrise, and then whatever's coming next, which is probably season 3 of Transformers G1, I would guess.
All the characters you know and love again.
Well,
with more Optimus.
We might get a decent Galvatron.
More Optimus.
Yeah. Yeah.
More Megatron. Even if we do get Galvatron,
oh god,
we'll get Megatron again, and it'll be the same toy, except this time he'll have 4 guns and 2 cannons.
You know how they save it, Mikey? They do Super Megatron.
Don't know, Andy. See, you're saying things that you and I would say would be good.
Well, they'd be different. I have no I can't say it would be good. It might be fucking dumb.
Yeah, but you're saying things that would they won't do, because that's not the G1.
No, it's the Japanese G1.
A G1, but it's not the G1. And people would probably, how can they compare cartoon accuracy when it had no cartoon?
No, I mean that's not untrue, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
I don't like it.
And I'm also, when people say cartoon accuracy, I'm just like, but to which episode?
I mean, it's a fair statement.
Megatrons come in many forms.
Yeah. I think because you can never hammer down what is the true Megatron. I think people have an idea in their head of what he should look like, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's not the Earthrise Megatron, that's for sure. Turns into a tank, not a gun, so it's arguably it's not right.
That weapon.
Because we're not going to be doing combiners. There's no way. So that takes out most of the season 2 cast for the most part. So yeah, I guess it's just going to be hopping over to Hot Rod and RC again. Except she's going to have the space car, maybe?
Dunno.
Maybe that's what they'll do. They'll reshell her.
What if they did combiners, but they did like a standard size Devastator and Predaking?
Me? No, I don't. I think they're going to keep away from combiners, to be honest.
You say that.
Yeah, I like if they do combiners, I think it would be like either an exclusive or it would be the new Titan class figure. I don't think they'd do it for a line because they need to dedicate quite a few figures to that line. And unless they just use the same gimmick as before, they'd need to develop a whole new combiner system. So I maybe it would happen, but
re-releases with dirty paint jobs.
Oh no, that would be no. They can't go back, Mikey. They've learned, in theory, not to do it. Don't make us go back. I don't want to go back to the dirty days. And by dirty days, I obviously mean a few years ago. Clearly, I don't know. Maybe they'll do the nice thing, Mikey, and maybe they'll give us like another 2 or 3 waves of the Cyberverse Deluxe series, which I know was never going to happen. I'm like 90% sure now that that's the one wave we're going to get. Well, not wave, because, you know, it's the multiple waves, but it's going to be that one Builder series figure, and then that's it. No more.
Yeah.
Isn't it? We both know it.
Very possible. Well, considering that the show's ending...
That's what I mean. If there was another season, maybe they could fart another one out, but that's not happening, so...
Which makes me slightly bitter towards poor old Thunderhowl, because I feel like he's taking a spot for, like, Soundwave or Shadow Striker, or someone really, like, someone I'd really... Like, and I'm also kind of bitter towards Shockwave, because he's had just enough passable Warrior stuff to make me go, like, that could have gone to Soundwave or Shadow Striker, or Rack and Rune, or it could have gone to Drift, or it could have gone to it could have gone to Clobber, could have gone to loads of loads of characters of just like, they deserve this.
Well, I suppose you could argue that for Bumblebee and Megatron and Prime as well, but
No, you couldn't. Having seen the Warrior toys, no, you couldn't.
Really? Okay.
Their Warrior toys are atrocious all around.
Okay.
There is no, like, Shockwave is a unique beast.
No, yeah, he had an okay one from what I hear.
Yeah, like...
He had one of the okay ones.
Bumblebee has never had a toy before with a functioning pair of arms.
Who needs arms, Mikey? Not when you've got wheels and a dream.
Wheels, a dream, and the open road.
That's right. Oh, damn, that's really annoying. Ugh. I'm disgusted. I'm not surprised, but disgusted. Man, because there are a lot of, like, even though, like, I've mentioned many times that I haven't fully watched the show, there are a lot of designs that I would like to have as Transformers. I suppose one boon is they didn't do the Seeker mold and then just use it 4 times to take up slots, which they easily could have done.
True, but the thing is, you could do multiple Seeker molds this time. There's, like, at least 3 different designs.
Yeah. Yeah, there's your Starscream, your standard, not Hailstorm. Slipstream. And then what's the other one?
The Conehead, they have a different design as well.
Oh, do they? I thought it was just the head that was different. Is the entire body different?
The wings are, like, the wings and everything else combined are transform a bit differently. Plus, then you've got, like, the male-headed version of the Slipstream mold.
Yeah. Oh, there was no Windblade either, oddly enough.
No, that is true.
No, that's weird. They only put one girl into the toy line, so...
And she never got... Well, Shadow Striker had an Ultra Class toy.
Oh, yeah, Shadow Striker... Yeah, she would have been a good one to do, because she looked really neat. I liked her design.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they leaned a bit heavier into it, but I suppose they couldn't to still have it kid-friendly. Like a bit more tech detail to her, like freaked up eye and freaked up arm and stuff would have been nice. But I get it. It's for super young kids, so what can you do? I mean, I suppose what you can do is make your own toy line. It's as easy as that. Easy as that. Come on, third party.
I think we're more likely to get that strong arm than we are to get a Shadow Striker, to be honest. But
yeah, well, I'm still hoping that the people doing the KO versions of the Prime First Edition decide, hey, maybe we'll do our own First Edition style Transformers from Prime that were never done, which won't be the case, but they should do that.
Yes.
So we can have decent versions of some of those characters.
Yes.
I think we've said this before, but never mind. The last bit of news, unless you had anything else, Mikey.
Nope.
is the fact that Josh Burcham is going to go to Orlando for the TFCon 2020 thing, which is this month. It's in 19 days' time. As of this recording, it'll be less by the time you listen to it, I would assume. He's done a lot of art for Transformers over the many, many years, including Robots in Disguise, Optimus Primu, and Star Trek vs. Transformers, and more, of course. So you can go down, say hello, say he's pretty, get him to do your picture, buy some of his stuff, all that kind of good stuff, as well as see everybody else who's there as well. That's it. That's our news, Mikey. It's a quickie this week, but what have you been up to this week? What are you doing for fun?
It's pretty quick in that regard as well.
Oh, wow.
Cyberverse Season 3 wrapped up.
Is it, what, all 26 episodes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How'd it end? End well?
I liked the ending, but it was the only time I felt the series was rushed.
Oh, okay.
Mostly I think because of the last couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a shot with some stuff in it at the very end of like it's blink and you'll miss it kind of stuff that seems quite significant. That again really feels to me like okay, for season 4 we're going to delve into these, and then it was just like shit. There is an appearance in the last couple of episodes that literally had me just stand up and walk out of the room for a minute. I was so surprised. A character shows up I was never ever expecting in this show, with a very Cyberverse take in it. The last few episodes are the Bumblebee part of Bumblebee Adventures, but he's not really that important. He's just sort of helping other characters do important things. Also, Cthulhu, Finagan. But no, like I would highly recommend anyone to check out Cyberverse Season 3. I'd say Season 2 well worth watching, but like there's just such a jump in quality, and just like it is the bravest Transformer show ever made. In all honesty. Like, a show, not, like, if you're talking just the bravest thing, you're probably talking KISS players, just by default. Like, but no, Cyberverse is the bravest animated series we've ever had. And I'm including Beast Machines in that. But, yeah, so, I didn't see Ryder this week.
What episode are we on to with Ryder at this point?
25?
25, okay.
Yeah, so it's weird, we're at mid-season.
Oh, really? It doesn't feel like it. I mean, granted, I haven't been watching it week by week, but it's like, wow.
I was just thinking about it. We're at episode 25 of what's usually a 45 to 50 episode run. Like, so yeah, hopefully that'll be... I'm hoping that's out tonight before I go to bed, but no guarantee. I started watching Disenchantment today. That Matt Groening show on Netflix?
Oh.
I really liked it.
Okay. I didn't like the look of it, but then I've not been a big Matt Groening fan for a long time.
It feels very Futurama. Feels a lot more Futurama than Simpsons, and Futurama's perfect in my opinion. Shut up. But no, I liked it. It's a kind of wacky fantasy story, but there's nice elements. There's a very entertaining elf character who's kind of endlessly chipper, despite the fact the world hates him from a great height. And I like the protagonist, Beam. She's really cool. But no, I'm gonna keep trying it and see how it plays out. But didn't do anything else major, to be completely honest. But I did buy a Transformer in the last couple. Well, I got new headphones. But
there was something else you watched though.
Oh no, I think I'll leave that one to you.
No, there was another thing that you watched that you talked about on Twitter that I warned you about.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
I think you do, because I told Jason, and Jason was like, why would you do that? And I was like, I don't know, Mikey did it. I told him not to do it. He still did it. You have
to learn. You have to be aware. Like, maybe things... Like, I wouldn't have watched The Mandalorian if I hadn't given it a chance. And I think that's... as I said, I think that's a decent show. That's probably one of the better mainline sci-fi in a while.
I still attest that Mandalorian is a mediocre Samurai Jack.
Yeah, well, everything's a mediocre Samurai Jack.
Not everything.
Dad,
not everything.
Andy, not Dad. Andy, I had this conversation with my dad once.
What's that?
Samurai Jack. Yeah,
whoa! Hang on. Did you say your dad doesn't like Samurai Jack?
Yeah,
why? What's wrong with him?
He said he can't take it seriously.
Oh, is it because it's a cartoon? Is that why?
I think it was like it's the episode where Jack snaps. And just, he's out in the woods and goes, who else wants some? Which is one of my favorite bits in the entire show. But I think it like he knocks someone through a wall and there's that go-go dancer with the mace.
Oh, yeah.
He saw her and he's just like, I can't take this show seriously. And just like, but it's so good!
Yeah. Did you show him the episode which is him versus the 3 blind archers?
Oh no, I was thinking like the assassin one.
Oh, that one's really fucking good as well.
4 assassins and this is how I will kill him. I hit him with a club.
Oh, see, I thought you meant the one where he's fighting the ninja and he's all in white and the ninja's all in black and they're using the shadow.
That's amazing. That's so beautiful. But I was thinking the one where you have the 4 different assassins and why are they hunting Jack and how will you fight him? Well, we will use this great plan and la 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 and like they go to execute it and it's just
terrible.
12 seconds. But I watched Picard or Picardy and Coke as I shall be referring to it now.
Okay. How do you like Star Trek?
There are 3 ways to view this show, right?
Okay. Yeah.
As a television series on its own, as part of a franchise, and as a sequel. It does not succeed on any level.
No, I know.
It doesn't feel like Star Trek at all.
Nope.
It's a bad sequel as it falls into the awful, awful, awful trope of thinking that by giving characters you're familiar with horrible endings, that makes it cool and gritty and edgy, rather than fucking lazy.
Yeah, because you remember how uplifting and hopeful it was at the end of Next Gen, where he sat down with his crew and started playing poker? That was the end, and it's like he's opening up to people finally, after all these years. That
moment of just like, looking around to... I should have done this a long time ago.
Because welcome. You remember what Best of Both Worlds was all about? It was about him like learning to work with people and to be with the people he loves and cares about and to avoid that future. So he went down and did that future anyway. As he's old and alone and is on his vineyard. So good work, Picard. Good work.
But
how's Icheb, Mikey?
Fuck off!
How's Icheb?
Fuck off! Oh my god. Like, it's like someone watch Altered fucking Carbon and think, I could do that! Oh, Okay, so, like, seriously, just walk away for a few minutes, guys, if you want to watch the show and you... whatever, just... Because I'm going to say this. I hate putting fucking body horror in a show using a familiar character for no fucking reason except to assassinate another character's character.
But Mikey, Star Trek's always been very violent. Do you not remember the episode with the parasite dude?
They fridged Icheb so they can ruin 7. They fucking ruined the best character, or one of the 2 best characters, from one of the shows that's caused the most controversy. One of the most unambiguously, even people who hate this show think she's amazing. They fucking ruined her.
Yeah.
And not to mention what they do, like, there is a fucking Romulan Legolas in this.
Yeah, yeah.
Why is it, like, I was raised by an order of assassin women. Oh, were you?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone around me has disruptors. I have a sword.
Didn't one of the nuns say to him something like, I only know the offhand stuff for the most part. Didn't one of the nuns say to him, it's a shame he's not a woman, otherwise he could have been better or something?
Because he was raised by the assassins, but he can never be one.
Yeah.
But he's just Romulan Legolas.
Yeah.
Because someone went, Romulans have pointy ears, ergo space elves.
Yeah, yeah. I heard Elrond as well, but either are appropriate.
No, Legolas, just because, like, he's perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll die horribly at the end of it, but he's perfect. And, like, Picard, God, he's trying, and Stewart is fucking trying, but as a show, the
dialogue... Sorry, you mean JP? Right?
JL.
JL, that's it. My apologies, yeah.
But, like, the dialogue, right? Like, okay, so they put swears in, and they put incest in because Game of Thrones happened. And don't ever tell me there's any other reason, but because Game of Thrones happened. That's why there was male rape in Discovery. It's why there's incest in this.
Mm-hmm. It's what adults want, Mikey.
Is it?
Yep.
I want compelling characters and story. And a sense of joy on any, even the darkest show, there needs to be something. Remember Farscape?
Yeah, yeah.
Which was a fucking twisted show. Remember how joyful it was at times?
Yeah, yeah. It was quite funny.
It was a contrast to the fact that it was all going to shit.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's just in the and like they try for whimsical in a couple of minutes, just like this.
Oh, is that when not
in a wave.
Yeah, they do the ice skating in the Borg cube or whatever it is, and it's like, what the fuck?
Talk about fucking ruining the Borg now. Like, the Borg,
yeah.
The Borg have just like been castrated. But there was a moment where someone swears in this, and I didn't like swearing in Discovery because it didn't feel Star Trek, but also because it didn't feel natural. They made it work a bit better because it was Tilly doing it, and her whole thing is that she's a little atypical.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are ways to use the word fuck in a sentence that feel like human beings would speak this way.
Yeah.
So when a Starfleet admiral talks to the most decorated, the most decorated former officer in Starfleet,
I know the scene,
and goes, "That's sheer fucking hubris." It's just like,
oh my
no
God.
one talks like that.
Oh my God.
No human being talks like that. No human being, after years of military indoctrination, would speak to anyone that way, who wasn't like massively lower ranked, and also wouldn't speak to anyone like that way because this is not Full Metal Jacket. Oh my God, it's worse than I thought it was going to be, and I feel dumber having seen it.
I wish I could have said that I didn't want you, but I did. But I understand the need to.
Discovery is a lot better. Discovery is a lot better,
and that's not a good thing to say.
Discovery feels way more Star Trek because it feels bad Abrams Star Trek, but it feels Star Trek.
I guess.
But Picard feels like every single middle of the road, bare bones budget, bad, dodgy sci-fi that's come out in the last 10 years trying to chase the title of prestige.
Edgy, I think you want to throw out. Edgy.
Well, the technical term is prestige genre television.
Oh, is that the technical term?
That is the technical term. They're all chasing the rabbit of Game of Thrones. Fantasy or science fiction that's edgy. Fantasy for adults. Fantasy for people who don't like fantasy. This is sci-fi for people who don't like sci-fi.
Well,
otherwise known as stupid.
A lot of people use the argument of, well, if there's no conflict, it can't be interesting. And it's like, well, that's
really?
Okay.
Really?
Star Trek
really?
was
How do you do conflict?
For years.
I don't know. You write character conflict. You write drama. You write people back and forth. Conflict is not doing a fucking backflip or ripping out someone's eye.
Yep.
This is not John Wick, where the entire point is to see an amazing action sequence and have a man really want a dog. This is Star Trek. This is sci-fi. Sci-fi exists to be intelligent. It's the fucking point. Mm-hmm. Do people sit there with Blade Runner and go, "Wow, I really just want to watch the bits where someone gets his head exploded"?
Maybe there might be some of that.
Fuck me sideways. It's actually enraging.
This
is as a sci-fi viewer, not a Star Trek viewer.
Did you hear some of the rumors, Mikey?
Is it that Picard's going to get re-impaled in the heart and Q's going to turn out to actually be God?
Okay, so again, if people don't want to be potentially spoiled, you've been warned. But the rumor is, Mikey, who made the Borg?
What do you mean made the Borg?
Well, where did the Borg first come from?
Middle of the Delta Quadrant, a couple of thousand years ago or something like that.
Are you sure?
Yes, because the show told me that many times. They weren't made. They're just sort of there. They're a species that made a technological leap that went very wrong, and then they absorbed everyone else.
Who are the Jotvaj, Mikey?
I don't care who the Jotvaj are, Andy.
The Jotvaj, for those not aware, are a Romulan secret service, even secreter than the Tal Shiar, the Secret Service, who are there to destroy all AI. Is that right? Because of some great thing in the Romulans' past that made them like this. Who made the Borg, Mikey?
Fucking cut someone there like Achilles tendon.
It is a rumor, but it's stupid enough for someone to have written it, isn't it? It's fucking dumb enough for someone to have gone, yeah, that's cool.
They better rewrite it fucking quick. Because if I'm not going to watch the rest because it's fucking terrible.
Wise.
But if I hear them go like, "Hey, the best villain the Star Trek ever produced that got neutered already multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Here's just the last nail in the fucking coffin. Romulans did it because Romulans are so competent."
Again, rumor, but. These are the dumb things that you go, yeah, someone easily could have written this.
Also, why are the Romulans basically like 18th century like expatriates now?
Oh, because the home was blown up.
Yeah, Romulus blew up.
Yeah.
They owned like a quarter of space in that area.
No,
I
mean...
many planets.
Supernova took out everything.
Many planets across much of space. There's this thing, it's called the neutral zone.
No.
Like, it's at least as wide as that.
No, you don't understand.
Like, even if you blow up Romulus, it's just like, no, the home world, no. Like, they have many planets.
Third biggest or the second biggest versus the Federation? They're as big as the Klingon Empire, though.
They're at least as big as the Klingons. Like, the Cardassians are the only ones that are guaranteed smaller.
And that's mainly because of the Dominion War where they got freaking wrecked.
Yeah. But why did the culture basically die?
Oh, that's what happens, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's nice that it's not quite as, like, accidentally racist and that there's some variety now, but that thing where not every Romulan has that same bloody haircut.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck off.
It's great, isn't it? I think it's still guaranteed for. I think it's still confirmed for a season 2. Somehow.
Why?
I don't know.
What? They're not telling a season 2 story.
Again,
miniseries.
Whether this actually happens or not, I couldn't tell you. But
why is it people just have to go like, oh, if we're doing something today, it has to be depressing, like?
Because that's smart.
No, it's not. It's fucking like, to quote a guy. I watched a review of Discovery. One of the biggest problems with Discovery is that they're nowhere near as smart as they think they are.
Oh God, no.
And Picard is a lot dumber than it thinks it is.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, and it's no, if you like Picard and you like Discovery, that's fine.
No, I'm not criticizing people who like it. I'm emphasizing that if you like the show, you are not the problem.
No, but it's certainly it's dumb Star Trek. It's dumb Star Trek. It's not nearly as intelligent as it used to be. And granted, there were some episodes of Star Trek that were stupid. Of course.
Very stupid. Incredible.
Very stupid.
Some of the dumbest sci-fi you're ever going to see.
Yeah, but they had some of the most poignant stuff as well. But at the moment, they're not doing the poignant stuff, it seems.
They're chasing everything that's on Netflix. They're chasing everything that's on sci-fi. They're chasing everything that's on HBO, and they're not
focusing on what their audience is meant to be.
And like stuff like on Netflix, like Altered Carbon, that has the basis of, it's based on a book that was written to be quite heavy and quite dark and everything else. Same with The Expanse.
Yeah.
Which means that they have real world levity in there because because books are a long fucking experience and you cannot read 700 pages of depression without having serious issues. And that translates over to the series, and they're focused more on the deep ideas, like Altered Carbon's idea of semi-immortality.
Mm-hmm.
Like Star Trek, you're trying to do that without the basis of a completely written novel. You're like, can we just get Dread, like the Dread series with Carl Urban in it, please? What if
they did Dread, but it was all uplifting and like
then they learned the wrong lesson.
Yeah,
and you know
it's
what?
complete opposite.
Dread's a happier story. The comic and the movie are happier stories than this. They have levity. Even Dread going like, there are moments of just like, are you ready? Yeah, you don't look ready. Like, that's just like, oh, like, he's not dead inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a scary person, but he's a person. I am the law.
Did you watch any of the Red Letter Media reviews I sent you?
No, I'm probably going to watch. I was planning to watch some. I watched the Angry Joe one, and I need to watch the Red Letter one.
I like Angry Joe, but the Red Letter Media one's the one where you go for actual. I hate to say intelligent conversation. That's where they're smart dudes.
I don't think Angry Joe does good film or television critique. I think he's much better at critiquing the necessities of games.
I agree.
And I think he, in general, has kind of terrible taste in movies. But Red Letter, Red Letter. It's a time sink for me.
They are long. They are long conversations. That's for sure.
But yeah, apart from that,
I wanted to remind you because I saw you did like 6 tweets on this, and I was like, oh, I can't let this pass it. I ain't letting this go. Fuck that.
Yeah, I got because I saw it for €5 in a shop, just completely random. The Authentics Grimlock, the 5-inch version.
What's that?
So you remember the Evergreen designs, and they had these really simple transforming figures, like 8 steps.
Oh, vaguely, but they were really big, weren't they?
Yeah, this is the slightly smaller one. It's got a bit of remolding. Like the arms are really simple, and the tail is like it's basically a pair of feet with a point in it. The thing is, it's quite a fun little toy.
Okay.
Surprising for its price point, which is again was €5. Surprisingly posable, and has an excellent head sculpt.
Okay.
Like the best Grimlock head sculpt I've seen in a long time. Like the Rex mode has a lot of flaws. Like the arms are molded more for when they're like on the where his back, he's got his back wings. So it basically kind of just looks like he's got his arms up really close to his sides, and he's not taking them down, so it looks like he's planning something.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to get the larger figure because it is it's not just like there are differences in the mold. Like the head position's different. It's got bigger arms and it looks more posable. But honestly, no, it had Megatron, Optimus, and Bumblebee. And if I'd had an extra $5 on me, I probably would have picked up Megs. I might go back and pick him up at some point during the week.
Ooh.
They're just, for what they are, really simple, really cheap little figures. I was surprisingly impressed. And that was my week. What about you, Andy?
Well, I can cover the past 2 weeks because I didn't get to talk about it last week because we were pushed for time. So what have I been up to? Let's see. I saw Dr. Sleep. Did you hear of Dr. Sleep, Mikey?
It is the sequel to The Shining.
Yeah, it's surprisingly decent. It gets a little bit fan servicey by the end, but I don't mind it too much. The actual movie's really interesting. It is paced a lot more like a 90s film. I don't think it does the dread or the horror elements as well as The Shining does. But it's an interesting film. They do some really I guess some people would find it difficult to watch scenes, but I was like, oh, this is good and harrowing as it should be. Decent acting. I enjoyed it. I'm disappointed I didn't get to see it at the cinema. But I definitely enjoyed my experience watching Doctor Sleep. I saw the director's cut version, so I don't know if there's diminishing returns with the normal cut. It's because it does feel rushed by the end because it is like it's a fucking Stephen King book, and they're small, the tiny reads. He says sarcastically, by the by. So it does feel slightly rushed by the end. But I did like them, even though it was very fan servicey. I did like them going back to the Overlook Hotel, I think it's called. Like they apparently rebuilt the sets exactly the same from the Kubrick film. The only problem is, and they mentioned this on the Red Letter Media review, is the shots in there aren't as interesting because they didn't use the director didn't use as interesting of lenses or angles for a lot of those shots, so it feels smaller than it did in the Kubrick film, which I thought was interesting, and I kind of see what they meant by that. But I would recommend it if you like the Shining. It's a nice sequel to it. I think you can still watch it as a standalone, but I don't know why you wouldn't have watched The Shining yet, because I really like that film, so I'm biased. I also watched The Color Out of Space, which is
a Lovecraftian thing, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. It's got Nick Cage in it. It's not too bad. It's for a Lovecraft film, and they vary usually from being okay to terrible. This goes a lot more into the okay to good range, I would say. It's not amazing. And one of the more odd aspects is when Nick Cage is going slightly crazy. For some reason, I don't know if he's doing this deliberately or if it was just his mindset at the time. He's doing a very obvious Donald Trump accent.
Right. Is it because Nicolas Cage is kind of insane?
There is that. There is certainly that. And it is a way to show you when he is not in his right mind. But it really pulled me out of the film when I was like, he's doing a Donald Trump accent. He's doing a very, very aggressive Donald Trump accent. He wasn't like making fun of Donald Trump. He was just putting on the way he talks, his speech pattern. And that really pulled me out of the film. I was like, I know this is Lovecraftian, and like I can accept things not making sense because that's how it should be. But him talking like Donald Trump's just really weird. Really weird.
Is it right, man?
Is it right? It wasn't right. They have some good creepy imagery in there, the color out of space is able to start fusing things together. So at one point it hits a mother and child and starts fusing them together. So the child is like coming out of her back, like his little face. Yeah, it's real creepy. There's a lot of I watched a review, and this guy was he was very, I don't know whether he was a serious movie buff or whether he was looking, I think he was looking just too far into it, because the thing he took away from the movie is that putting stuff in the water is what he came away from the movie, because the whole thing is an asteroid comes from space, or something comes from space, and gets into the water supply and makes them start going crazy and starts altering them. So he took away from that there was the message that the government's putting stuff in the water, and I was like, I don't know, bro. I think you're being weird.
He does know Lovecraft kind of predates that idea.
Yeah, he was talking a lot about Lucifer as well, and Lucifer, because the Nick Cage, when the meteor or whatever you want to call it comes down, he's Nick Cage is making love to his wife, and he's like, as Nick Cage is releasing his seed into his wife, Lucifer releases his seed onto the plateau of the earth. And I was like, oh mate, what are you talking about?
He's an idiot.
He's one of those people. An
idiot.
He's one of the people that sees The Shining and sees like messages from Stanley Kubrick that he made the moon landing videos. He's one of those kind of people, I think.
I believe that, again, I'm sticking with the technical terminology I used before, Andy.
I'm certainly not fighting you on that assessment.
Again, because I mean, I've read a couple of reviews of that, and they're all kind of like, I mean, it's as true as to the original story as you can get.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And if you tell me that there was any subtle imagery in Lovecraftian stuff beyond, hey, watch out for the Jews.
It was more like, watch out for everyone because I am legitimately terrified of human beings.
Yes, especially the Jews. And
and I was going to say
women.
The blacks, yeah. Like everyone. Lovecraft was terrified of everything. It's kind of sad.
The most accurate version of Lovecraft is, sadly, the one that was in Atomic Robo.
Oh, see, I was going to say the screaming worm from the caterpillar from The Simpsons. You know, it just screams consistently.
And then writes down very detailed, but not necessarily well-written stories.
No, but especially for his time, fascinating. Like, really interesting ideas, even if, like you say, the stories weren't the best, and they weren't.
No,
for the most part.
He was an ideas man, God bless.
Definitely, but I think that most of those ideas came from slight insanity.
It's like, I'm not crazy, but everyone is out to get me.
Yeah, exactly. Really interesting, man. But yeah, The Color Out of Space, I'd say is worth a watch. It's interesting, but don't go in thinking it's like the best thing ever. And Nick Cage is Tommy Chong is in there as well, which is quite nice. And mainly because I haven't seen Tommy Chong in something for a long time. And I mean, he is a stoner dude, so he plays to his role perfectly. So I watched that. That was fun. I've got Beastars to watch as well, because I'm kind of interested. Because didn't you say you watched that?
I did. It was... The animation is going to drive you nuts.
I'm sure. But it's CGI, isn't it?
The overall story has some intriguing... I mean, I find the fact it's literally just one big metaphor for puberty kind of intriguing.
That's what kind of interested me. I was like, I want to see how it... not how it works, that's stupid. But how they play it. It does sound interesting. So I wanted to go from there.
It's what I think as a teenager, you're just like flipping out about, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, I could see that. It's probably because it's very relatable to teenagers, so that makes sense.
It's speaking your language.
Yeah, so that works. I also started watching Bofuri. I think it's the shorter name for it. Have you heard of that, Bofuri?
No, that's new to me.
It's not an isekai. Well, it is, because it's in a video game world where a young girl basically breaks the video game by making herself super strong by going, okay, I'm going to put all my stats into defense, all of them. Everything into defense, and she becomes like unkillable. So it's basically a cute girl doing cute things in an anime world and horribly breaking a video game, which I think is weird, because I saw a video describing it as a really well designed video game for an anime, like in terms of like it's well thought out, and I was like, I don't think it is. It just seems like a standard world, but a cute girl has broken the system, and I don't think a massive virtual online world wouldn't have had someone already do it, because it's like it would be like you jumping into World of Warcraft now. It's not like it's just came out.
Yeah, and also, surely there would have been a patch.
Yeah, that's the thing. You would have thought so. As soon as she does a tournament, it's one of their first ever events in the game, and she comes in third place, even though she's brand new compared to everybody else. I think someone from the development team would have seen that and been like, she's taken no damage and killed everyone instantly because she has a super rare shield, because of course she does. And she also just doesn't take any damage because everything's in defense. Everything. It's like I say, it's cute, but it's not like it'd be hard to recommend it as like, oh shit, this is really good, you should go watch it. It's just like, yeah, it's fine. It's something to watch. I've kind of got it on the back burner of things to watch rather than the forefront. Also, I watched Seton Gakuen yesterday. That was more of an okay episode. That was more. I would say that was more of the sports festival. It was just another sports festival.
A weaker. I would say that's for me one of the weakest ones of the season. Not bad, but just. I liked the sport one better. It had more moments in it that made me giggle.
Yeah, I mean, Yubi died a lot more in it, so that was always fun. Yeah, I would agree with that. But it was fine. It was interesting enough. I learned things like 90% of giraffes have homosexual relationships. So I was like, fair enough. I say on Twitter, I saw that you said that they were two different subspecies, which they didn't cover in the episode, I don't think.
No, you can tell by the colors.
Okay, I was just like, okay, fair enough. I did like how the two male giraffes had a lover spat, effectively. That was fun. Yeah, again, there were cute moments in there which were really nice. I did also like Jin convincing Ranka to go and help the beluga girl by saying, you could help her, you be a good boss. And she's like, I could be a boss. Send me away, Jin, I'm going to fix her. I'm going to make her part of the pack. And I'm like, oh, poor Ranka, she's stupid.
Dumb as a post.
Yeah. He's not wrong when he calls her a stupid Inu. But she's delightful. Yeah, it was not one of the most amazing episodes, but it was fun. It's fun. I am not concerned, but I'm slightly worried that it's only going to be 13 episodes.
I would put money down.
I would as well, and I'd be like, oh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but Andy, it's like Cyberverse. It's just like, oh, we like it. Oh.
Yeah. But we have I've liked it consistently, which is no, you've liked Cyberverse consistently as well, haven't you? To be fair,
and also we just might as well have a sign waved outside for go to anime conventions. Just have a sign that says season 2 when.
Oh God, yeah, no game, no life, people. I mean, no game, no life. People are the meme, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Which I've never seen. Which I heard was just okay.
Good intro music. I don't really like the episodes, but
the actual episode. I thought you were going to say the art style, because the art style didn't really grab me. I was just like,
no. Well, no, I didn't like the art style either. But
fair enough.
Yeah.
The only what was the other thing? Oh, more Fate. Fate's up to 18, episode 18, and man, it's really fucking good. I still think it's a really fucking good adaptation of a video game, of a mobile video game. So I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, this is some good shit. And I, as of today, finished watching the Nexo Lego series, which season 1 is not great. The problem with, I'll probably do an entire episode of Woo Woo on this, because there's a lot of things I want to say about Nexo, but I'll just say here and now, it has interesting concepts which it never really dives into, and focuses more on its target audience being 5 to 6 year olds, and doesn't want to do anything past that. So any story opportunity where they could have gone in a more interesting route, even if you want to have it set young in a more interesting route, they don't bother doing. They go, no, we won't do that. It's weird because the show feels almost like they're more 10-minute episodes than anything else, and they're 20-minute ones. But it doesn't feel like the content's there that makes them feel like a full 20-minute episode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing. And I don't think there was anything else of note. I can't think of anything, to be honest, off the top of my head, so I think that might be it. We do have some messages from Facebook, which I really wanted to hit, but we didn't have time to. So Christoph Carlson sent us messages 3 weeks ago at this point. Well, isn't that great? I'm a piece of trash. Okay, let's see. Is this the... I can't remember if I asked you this already, Mikey, so I'll throw it at you again just in case.
No.
Let's see if I can get... Okay, I will ask this again because I feel it will make for a good discussion. Is it me or have the latest gen of cartoon makers made the Simpsons joke of... We've done this one, haven't we?
Simpsons? I don't... Read it out a little bit further.
The Simpsons joke of, so you want a realistic, down-to-earth show that's completely off the wall. So, yeah, we've done that. Okay, so that's fine. We've done that one. So this one, if we jump to this one, that's that. This one, it is just literally going through the stuff, going, okay, did I hit these? Okay, last week's message. Didn't Windblade lose her innocence in quotations when she slept with Tigatron and Air Razor ? Anywho, I'm okay with the Earthrise with the Earthrise output because it will make it easier for me to dumpster dive after those classic seekers I've been waiting for. That makes sense. And the point that he was making is the best continuity, the Legends continuity, where Windblade, I don't know, unfortunately the image he sent, of course, isn't translated because why would it be? No, people need to either fix this or, as we say, put in a thing. Where by the end of the little manga episode, they are sleeping in the same bed. Don't know why, but they are.
I'd say that's more literally asleep.
Yes, there's nothing lewd there.
Yeah, and I also think Air Razor is not happy about it.
No, she's because Windblade seems to be hugging Tigatron like a plushie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably thinks he is one.
To be fair, in that universe, probably are effectively.
She seems to be asking him some sort of question. She's got the hand up in the air, just like, "Excuse me, sir."
Wouldn't it be great if these were translated? Just saying.
Anyone out there translate Japanese for fun?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I
just
saw that one group finally started translating the Kamen Rider Double manga again, and that's on like chapter 80 or 90 now.
What? It's gone on that long? Holy crap!
It's huge. I was very curious, so when I saw it pop up in a feed, I was just like, "Oh, how big is this now?" And it's enormous.
Wow, is it good or is it well received?
The little bits I've read were good, but they only got translated for like a couple of. I think it got translated for a couple of issues before people realized, oh, this is not aimed at the target audience of the original show at all. This is aimed at the target audience of the original show now.
Oh, okay.
Who like the boobies?
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
Because there are several scenes of the boobies.
See, when you
technical terminology,
when you said the target audience now, and I thought it would be more in line of Nicole, and what she would like, which is hot Japanese guys doing hot Japanese things. So it's gone down the more male side of things, I guess, than the female fan service kind of things, right?
Just a tad.
That's fair. That's fair enough. We do have a question here. Where does CG shows land on your animation style ranking list? For me, I take hyperactive CalArts over most of them any days. Tends to be more creative.
I don't know what that is.
What do you mean?
Can you say it again? Because I feel like I misheard something.
Okay, where does CG shows land on your animation style rank list? For me, I'd take the hyperactive CalArts style, I think we should have been there probably, over most of them any day.
Depends on the show, really. It's very, very variable. I think 2D animation in general looks better. Like, I did the Digimon show, and I don't know if I mentioned this here, but in the first shows at least, when the main two went to their final forms, or last couple of forms, they always did CG, and then everyone else would be traditional animated. And like Tamers has, we got two CGI ones, and it does Renamon's Ultimate and Mega forms, and they are beautiful sequences. Like, genuinely, it's like the Mega form for her is like genuine art. I would say if you just want to see something really cool, look up Sakuyamon transformation. It's like so incredibly well done. And then it's just like compare that to the other two and just like, oh no. Yeah. Oh, you look budgeted. I like these days. I like any CG show that isn't trying to look like Pixar or Disney.
I would also say not trying to look realistic.
Yeah, no, like photorealism, like
Even
no-
anime photorealism, which is
Oh,
what I throw like Knights
especially-
of Sidonia.
Especially anime photorealism.
Yeah.
That blank expression of pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
smiling. Are you? I'm smiling.
Yeah.
It's really a case by case thing because like CG animation can be so variable. Like I've never seen a Western show whose CG animation style blew me away on the basis of that animation. Like there's CG shows I think look good, like Green Lantern, but I also like that's just basically the DCAU.
Yeah. No. Well, what about Beast Machines? Obviously, it's hard to
For
contrast it from when it came out, but back in the day,
time,
that looked good.
Yeah, for its time, it was pretty revolutionary in terms of graphics, and a pretty like however you feel about Beast Machines, graphically it was a big jump from Beast Wars.
Oh, definitely.
Like you could see there was an actual budget, and there was other shows like that, like Heavy Gear at the time.
Oh,
looked
yeah.
really good for what it was.
Did that have any animation in, or was it all CG? Were the people
All
animated?
CG.
Okay,
No,
I don't know
no.
why I'm thinking
And
the people were
The
animated.
people
but...
were definitely the weakest element of that. But
Oh, I'm not surprised.
But what was that? Now you're making me think. What was that show? It wasn't. This isn't a good animated show, but there was a live action show with robots, like a live action mecha show in the mid-90s.
Robojocks.
Hyper something.
That wasn't CGI though.
I think it. Well, Robojocks wasn't, but Hyper like had 3 kids who got stuck on a planet with an alien or something like that.
Was it Knights of Tir and Nog?
No, it was. Like it was proper like CG mech. Hypernauts. That's it.
Oh, okay. No, I've never heard of that.
Oh man, it was on I remember that it was on RTE, which is Radio Television Air, which is our one. But it was like a mecha show. But it was like, oh, we're using bad CGI. Written by Christy Marks.
Okay.
Who worked on Babylon 5, and Katrin Lawrence, who won a Writers Guild of America award for her sci-fi work.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I should go back and rewatch that.
Huh.
I mean, I just remember it looked terrible, but I should go back and rewatch that. Yeah, it's very difficult. CG, like, I can find animation studios I love for anything, but for 2D, but for CG, it's a lot harder to say, this looks different and unique and good. Like, that's why I say, like, everything is trying to be Pixar and Disney now. And to the point where Pixar and Disney have lost all, like, you can't, if you show me a CGI movie now, and without telling me what it is, just show me a human design in it, can you pick out the art studio that did it?
Most of the time, yeah. You also missed off DreamWorks, because DreamWorks has their own style as well, and it's very obvious when you see it. Like, you see the Boss Baby or something like that, you're like, oh no. Because it looks like Minions, for example.
I know Boss Baby because his head's too small. Or, like, his face is too small for his head, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
But I would struggle, like, because there's lots of things that are, like, partly because they're imitating them. That nowadays are imitating that look. And now they're all they all feel to me like they're very comfortable in the same wheelhouse. And no one's really pushing things out that much.
No, it's all very safe. I mean, that's why one could argue the sticking with a lot of the Cal art style, because it's a safe style to go with, because it's not hugely detailed, and it's from a lot of shows that are quite successful.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know whether, like, would you take a CGI show over the Cal art style? Because I probably would, but that's mainly not because of the quality of Cal arts, is because I personally just don't like that art style.
Just thinking, would I?
I mean, it's hard, because if someone said, would you rather see a show that's Knights of Sidonia or Cal Arts, I'd be like, I don't know.
Cal Arts is something, like, one thing I didn't mention, I watched the first episode of Thundercats.
Oh, Thundercats Raw, you mean?
Very bad. But the Cal Arts style, right? It can be very well animated and very fluid.
Sure.
Doesn't make it distinct or attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's very similar to what I was saying about a lot of CGI shows. I'm just like, you would struggle to tell the difference in a lot of the design aesthetic. Like, you can, and you know, also it's kind of like, hey, a lot of the Cal Arts show are basically the same show with a small bit of variance.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't help either. And before someone comes at me saying, like, Steven Universe is amazingly distinct, I'm just like, it was.
Oh.
It ain't anymore, because everyone's trying to be Steven Universe. It's weird because they're like, when I see stuff like Gravity Falls, I think less strictly Cal Arts, and I think stuff like Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I wouldn't think that for stuff like Star versus the Forces of Evil or Steven Universe. I don't make that connection. So there's something about Gravity Falls with animation that does. I think it's because Gravity Falls feels more like a Nick show from the 90s.
It just happens to be on Disney for some reason. Yeah, I could see that.
The others all feel like Disney shows or Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah. The other question was, secondly, you're in luck, for I found a newish dinosaur-themed CG super robot show from Korea called Dino Core. It's on YouTube, apparently.
I've seen the toys for that.
Oh, okay. But I have to be honest, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, it's a lame show for babies, perfect for you, Mikey. With some annoying characters, but on the other hand, it had the super robot stuff. Is on point, clearly drawing inspiration from both Gao Gaga and Power Rangers in the best ways. And as there are only the episodes are only 11 minutes long, that's a killer for me at least.
Yeah.
It's easy to skip ahead.
I will say, like, the combined robots are pretty cool looking designs, and they do both chibi designs and like cool super robot designs.
Is this like fucking Tobots from Korea as well, where they have really awesome like robots that are big and fat and chunky, and then the show just looks garbo?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll show you the Google images thing.
Okay.
Where you're saying, because I've seen them before, because I follow a Korean toy channel, and he always has this kind of stuff up there.
Okay.
But see, like a lot of those designs, they're not bad.
No, they're actually pretty neat. They're not like but some of them I'm not the biggest fan of, but the first kind of Goldie one, whatever that is, that's kind of fun.
But and then you look at the screenshot from the show, and it looks atrocious.
Oh yeah, that is the Tobot kind of animation style, I think, for at least the humans. I'm sure the humans all have that creepy fucking face to them.
Except that one girl who's clearly supposed to be the sexy one.
Oh yeah, she's the adult because she's got the boobs and the massive like hips.
And her head's relatively better proportioned.
She grew into
her head as she hit her teen years.
That's what happens in Korea. You have a massive face and you just grow into it.
That's how you tell North and South apart.
Oh damn, boy!
They never grow into it. And then they become Kim Jong-un.
Damn.
We had a Korean listener once, so if you're listening, I am sorry. I'm not, but I kind of am.
No, Mike, he's a bad person. You should have known this by this point.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions or anything like that, Mikey?
No. Like, still, if there's any feedback or anything from anything, guys, you know how to get it into us, but I haven't got anything since the Windblade incident.
All right, cool. Yeah, I heard that we didn't get any blowback from that, which I'm not surprised by.
No, we didn't. No one flipped out and tried to murder us. But
that's cool. Yeah, that's all good, I would say.
Unless you open your window now and it's like,
oh no!
And you're just like, which side are you on? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not on your side. Oh. Oh. I haven't even told you what side I'm on exactly. Oh.
Don't care.
Oh, that's something I didn't mention. I saw Sonic this week. Sonic, yeah, that's a surprisingly okay movie. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I wouldn't say it's like groundbreaking or anything like that. But I would say
would you give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10?
No, I'd probably give it more of a 6 or a 7. But we're more harsh on movies than normal people are. But I think we're probably closer to how a scale should be used. I'd say like a 6 or a 7 is perfectly okay. It doesn't do. I don't think it does anything inherently wrong. But if you've seen kids' movies before, it adheres to that kind of story structure, and when you see the movie, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about, and it just sticks with it, and it doesn't break from it. They even have the part where they almost have an argument and leave each other for a bit. They almost go that route. They have an argument, but Sonic just doesn't happen to leave the main human character. Which I was like, oh god, okay, we'll see. But no, it was entertaining. There was one bit I definitely would have cut, because I felt it did nothing, and that was Robotnik dancing.
A lot of people love that.
I'm sure, but it didn't add anything to the story. It didn't. I don't feel it added to his character. I don't think the song was very interesting. It was just there. And
kind of like the bit where he tells the guy to pin himself to the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I could see people see that funny. It was funny, but I didn't find it desperately funny. But I will say it was nice to see Jim Carrey. I don't want to say be himself, because it almost sounds like I'm saying he hasn't been himself for years. But to see him do a role that I'm more used to seeing him do was nice.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. And Sonic talks about loneliness, and I was like, oh damn, son, stop talking directly at me, bro. I was just in the cinema, just like nodding, nodding my head, like, I know, bro, I get you, I hear you, son.
Starts running around the cinema.
No, I definitely wouldn't have done that. It would have been a more like slowly walk. I'm not running. Fuck that noise. It's fine. Yeah, it's a perfectly okay film.
Did you stay for the after credits?
I did, and not because I already knew what was coming. I mainly stayed because, again, not an insult to the film, but the best part of the film are the end credit sequence, I think, because they do it all in like Sonic 8-bit style, which I really appreciated. I was like, oh man, I wanted to just stay and watch, because it was just like, oh man, this is like playing Sonic Mania. It just happens to be in the movie universe for whatever reason. But yeah, the end bit came up, and I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. What do you think of? What did you think of the bit on Mobius at the start of the film?
Oh, with the owl lady.
Yeah. Did you agree with me where it feels like she was a design that they never updated?
Yeah, I guess so, but it wasn't as aggressively like horrific, so I'm guessing that's why they probably didn't change it. I didn't look at it and think, oh, that's a fucking monster, unlike the Sonic design. I was talking with Tricky, and apparently he noticed a scene during the baseball scene where it looked like they hadn't swapped out the model, which I didn't notice. But I think it's one of those, like, he was farther away, so you probably, unless you're really paying attention, probably wouldn't have noticed, because I didn't.
There was just one child who noticed, and he's just like, ever since he's just...
screaming.
Tommy, what's wrong?
It could happen. It could happen. Again, a really lame bit which I liked was the Sega logo at the start, but they had all the games, and they had like Yakuza on there, and they had what was the other thing I noticed? They had Valkyria Chronicles as part of the logo. I was like, oh, that's nice. It's a Sega logo with all these games I played. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. People talking about a Sega universe starting up, and
no, thank you.
I'll be honest, my anus clenched up very tightly, and I went, oh no.
Because when I think crossover, I think Sonic the Hedgehog and Valkyria Chronicles. Sonic in World War II is what I think of.
I just have concerns because we've tried this kind of idea before, not even just direct crossovers, but we've tried this with like the Dark Universe, we've tried this for however many fucking years with the DC stuff.
Just make sequels. That's all we used to do, and sometimes we ended up with multiple sequels to different films. Just do
Yeah. I mean, there is potential that you can do maybe some interesting things with Sega properties. I just don't, like, even though Sonic was an okay film, I don't have enough confidence in people anymore to believe that they could do like a decent, say, Streets of Rage film or a decent Shinobi film. Though I wouldn't be adverse to seeing a Splatterhouse film.
What about Golden Axe?
No! Marco's Magic Football, Mikey. We do it in the style of Renford Rejects, if you remember that piece of shit show from back in the day.
I'm still waiting for a Parappa the Rapper movie.
That'd be neat. I tell you, though, I think people would be slightly pissed but slightly happy if there was a Golden Axe movie. The people who would be pissed but slightly happy would be the people who are like, where's a good Conan film? And you go, Golden Axe, and you go, it's the closest you're probably going to get, if it's not shit, at least.
But also, like, they're talking about that, and you look in the corner, and someone's slowly raising a picture of the Netflix He-Man series behind them.
Yeah, well, we don't know if that'll be any good or not. We can just hope.
No, but he does look a bit like Conan.
Yeah, he does. I mean, not as much as. Do you remember the UK Sonic the Comic Golden Axe, where they changed the dude in the blue shorts who had the short blonde hair, and they just went, "He's Conan," and you go,
"Yep."
Okay, like as a kid, I didn't know
what this is.
As a kid, I didn't know, but like when I was just looking through some artwork over the past 2 weeks, I went, it's just fucking Conan." Like, I get why you've done it, but it's like, wow, that's just aggressively Conan artist person.
Also, I really wish I had a full collection of those comics.
Same.
Those comics.
Yeah.
Short Circuit, the Cyber Squirrel was amazing. Or the what was he? It was Cybernick. Cyber something. It's been ages, but he was a Badnik Squirrel who got kind of turned back to normal, kind of.
Okay.
He was in the armor, but he was like not evil murdering, and he was a really fun character.
See, all of the things I would want to read about the Sonic comic are not Sonic the comic. It would be like the Shinobi stuff, the Golden Axe stuff, the Streets of Rage stuff. What was I saw the image, but I couldn't remember what it was called. What was the mummy dude who had the skull, who he threw at people? What was that game called? Because I always remember seeing that in the comic.
I had that game.
I never had the game. I didn't think it was a real game, even though I saw like clips of it in the comic. I was like, that's not a real game.
This is a lie.
I've never seen this shit before. It's lying to me. No, they're Eternal Champions as well. The game that Gruff wants to buy the rights for, because no one cares about Eternal Champions. I bet
Gruff also wants to buy all those weird Russian Segas.
I mean, this is true.
The Mega Man.
Yeah, he has some etheric taste, shall we say. But I think that's a good place to round up the show, Mikey. Where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and as always, you can send us feedback on the moonbase2@gmail.com and Patreon and Libsyn and everywhere else, and we'd love to hear from you.
Woo! It's true.
Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr. Well, no, not Tumblr, just Twitter. CCTFW. YouTube is Corporate Commander.
Tumblr is dead.
It's true. YouTube is Corporate Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. And you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2 and do $2 each month for the extended version From the Files of Teletron 2, which we'll do, guessing soon, right? Mr. Comic Man?
Next week.
Okay, we'll do that next week. Yeah. So you get that next week versus other people. It'll be extended as well. And you also get the Moonbase Woo-Woo, where we talk about non-Transformer things, where this month Mike talked about Digimens. I tell you, I was almost going to use.
Pokemons.
Yeah, I was almost going to use the image of the lass who is wearing a white top, and behind her are like 6 or 7 black guys. I was almost going to do that. Have you as the girl, and have each of those guys as female Digimon characters, and then have a speech bubble coming out of you just saying "I'm in danger." And I just thought, I won't do that because some people might get really freaked out by that. And I went, yeah, just in case. Just in case. Just in case. It was the one time I was like,
stuck a Snorlax in.
Yeah, Snorlax is all the way in the background. Did you notice the last from Tamers had a Team Rocket logo?
Yes, I did. I did think, why is Rika wearing an R?
Yeah, did you see the thing that turns into the rabbit with guns had red eyes as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you looked as happy as anything to be on the monkey bar swings. You didn't look like you were hating life at all. But yeah, what was it, Mikey? Was it just Digimon in general, or was it Tamers specifically?
It was Digimon in general. Tamers actually made up relatively little because I just thought if I get into I spent a lot of time in Adventure just to give the background, but if I'd gone for Tamers, that would have. Oh God.
Well, here's a question, Mikey. Would you be interested in doing another Digimon episode focused on a specific either series or game, like Cyber Sleuth or say Tamers, which may or may not be your favorite?
I'd probably want someone else there. I think just have bounce some things off of.
Okay.
And stop me just gushing on some things, but I could get somebody really like 02 in and just like, here's why you're wrong.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I really, really don't like that series.
Is that a newer one or something?
That was the second one. That was the one with Black War Greymon and
the Digimon Emperor
Digimon Kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, and the Mega that never won a single fight.
Which one was that?
In the entire Imperial Dramon, the big dragon. And he never won a single fight in the history of the show.
Didn't he? Oh, that's sad. He was a pretty cool design, from what I remember.
Yeah. And people and then he had the terrible movie from that. Like they had a really bad movie at the end of it all.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Anyway,
movie.
Until next week, everybody. We will catch you for more Moonbase 2 stuff in the future. That's not the Digimon theme.
It is.